Hello everyone and welcome back to another day of Road to Disney World 2019. As you can see, I have my good pal Charizard here in the back. We are going to be playing with a Charizard deck, which should be interesting at the very least. I don't know how competitive it will actually be, but perhaps this deck can show some potential. Now we have Charizard with its 150 HP, its ability Roaring Resolve, where once during your turn before you attack, you may put 2 damage counters on this Pokemon, and if you do, you search your deck for up to 2 fire energy cards and attach them to this Pokemon. So a really nice ability. Charizard powers itself up, it thins out the deck at the cost of damaging itself a little bit, which is not that big a deal, I would say. And as long as you have some Charizards like waiting in the wings on the bench and powering themselves up, continuous Blaze Ball should actually be able to one-hit KO pretty much anything. So the attack says discard all fire energy from this Pokemon, and this attack does 50 more damage for each card you discarded in this way. So for 2 fire energies, you're dealing 130 damage, which is a very solid number. You do discard them, which is not ideal, but still okay. 130 damage, like base 130 damage, is a solid number when you're trying to deal with non-GX decks, and then using double Roaring Resolves can just get you to 230 damage, which is enough to KO most of the regular GXs. And if you combine that with a regular attachment, then you go up to 280 damage, which is almost enough to one KO most of the tag teams, and with a choice band you certainly do KO the tag team. So Charizard does show some potential in its attacking prowess. We are combining Charizard with a Alolan Ninetales GX so that we can Mysterious Guidance for the rare candies. Another thing about it, I was thinking of using Flareon GX, but I'm actually gonna pass on using the Flareon GX line, so I'm gonna make these changes live. I want the extra consistency of the Ninetales added to the deck, and I want the extra energy recycler, so I'll make sure to save the deck once I'm done. We have Mysterious Guidance so that when we evolve Alolan Vulpix into Ninetales, we can search for 2 rare candies or 2 of anything we might need at that point in time. We have Alolan Vulpix as well, which we can beacon with, and we have Double Tablemon for support. Now, supporters wise, we have the 4 Elms training method, which is going to be our turn 1 supporter, ideal supporter every single game pretty much. Then we have triple Cynthia, double Guzma, double Erigas, and a single Lily along with a single Bill's Analysis. Bill's Analysis is a card that can help us in finding rare candies by digging a little bit into a deck, but I have found it to be underwhelming rather in a couple of other decks, so that could be another suspect card to potentially remove if need be. For Ultra Ball, 2 Pokemon Communication to try and find the right Pokemon for the right situation. 4 rare candies so that we can evolve. Double Energy Cycler and double Rescue Stretchers so that we can recover Pokemon and and energy, of course. And then we have the Heat Factory so that we can draw extra cards potentially any given turn, choice bands to increase our damage output, and 15 basic fire energy to round out the deck. And so let's see if we can win a game. Alright, so pardon that small technical difficulty. We are going to play our first game. We are going to go second against what I presume is a Vika Ray deck based on the sleeves and deck box and the previous screen, which did show Dragon type. So we'll have to see how well we can do in this match. Now, the more I think about it, the more I like Ericats over Cynthia rather. Simply because if you already have her, you'd rather draw the extra cards of the Ericat rather than use Cynthia, but we'll see. We shall see. We are going to get a Charmander start, and we have the possibility to just go for an Elms. Just immediately go for an Elms, which is very nice. There's a Ray start, the Grubbin start as well, which is very, very scary, right? Because we don't hit for, well, I guess 2 energies. No, yeah, 2 energies is 130, so Charizard's ability plus an energy for a turn is actually enough to get a KO. So, okay, so we have a pretty solid hand at this point in time to get a KO on this first Ray. So I'm gonna go ahead and Ultra Ball for Lele, and then Lele will get me the Elms, and the Elms will get me double Charmander and a Vulpix. That will actually guarantee that I get a KO on turn 2 on Rayquaza, which is actually a pretty big deal. Yeah, I'm gonna Elms for double Charmander and a Vulpix. We do have 2 Vulpix sprites, which is not good. Worst case scenario here for us would be Ray actually knocking out my poor Vulpix. That would be worst case scenario. And I'm gonna save the energy because whoever I attach the energy to becomes a bigger target. And yeah, because my opponent didn't play anything, I assumed he was holding on to the Vikavolt Rare Candy. And will get a knockout, but I will get a return KO because I will get Rare Candy off of the Ninetales. And then I don't know what other item I'm getting, but I'm gonna get a Charizard off. And afterwards, so maybe it was better to keep the Ericas over the Cynthia. I don't know how many Pokemon my opponent is going to bench, but if I'm able to draw another Charizard off of the Cynthia, or if I draw a Pokemon actually, no, because if I search for Pokemon, never mind. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. The issue is my opponent will immediately have return KO. That is the biggest of deals here. So my opponent gets a knockout. We will get a return KO for 2 prizes, and then my opponent will get another KO off of this Zeraora. Knocking out that Zeraora is going to be a difficult part. I do top deck the Pokemon Communication, but I cannot set up double Charizard here, which sucks. But getting this first knockout is going to be pretty awesome. And honestly, I think I'm going to grab a Choice Band here, because the Choice Band is potentially going to be crucial for me to knock out this Zeraora next turn. So I'm going to evolve the active Charmander into Charizard. And then I'm going to go ahead and use Roaring Resolve. Deal 20 damage to myself, it's not a big deal. I will attach 2 fires to Charizard, therefore thinning the deck quite a bit. I will attach the Fire Energy, and that's 180 damage. That's already knockout on Charizard. And then the Choice Band will go there very nicely, and then I will Cynthia for a fresh set of 6 cards, and wow. I even have the possibility to just outright get another Charizard set up at the cost of 2 energies, but I feel like that's worth it. That has to be worth it, right? I do have Bill's Analysis. For next turn, I have a Fire Energy as well, so that I can attach and get a KO back to back on the Zeraora. So we'll see. Setting up a 3rd Charizard to close out the game might be the difficult part, but I will also Roaring Resolve, therefore thinning my deck very nicely. And now my opponent's best bet is to go Guzma KO on my Charizard, which might not be easy for him to do. He didn't play anything other than the Volkner. I do get a Vulpix, I do get an Elms, which can find me my last Charmander, which is honestly not a bad deal. Not a bad deal at all. And now my biggest, I guess, fear is that Kuzma play, where Zeraora would be able to knock out my Charizard. Wouldn't be the end of the world, definitely. If I 2-hit KO the Zeraora, because I am decently ahead and at this point in time, but it would definitely be very annoying if it does indeed happen. Okay, so our good old buddy Charizard just took down a Ray all by itself, which is pretty nice. So we're gonna see Vikavolt, and he's actually powering up Shaman, interestingly enough, with a Grass and a Lightning on the Zeraora. We're gonna see an attachment to the active Shaman. And okay, I guess that makes sense, because if I use my ability, oh my gosh, he has, wait, what? He has a Guzma, so he could have knocked out my Choice Banded. Oh, he is going to knock me out. Okay, he is going to knock me out. In fact, wow, my opponent has barely thinned his deck. and he's just had the perfect cards in his hand. Didn't even have to search for the Guzma. He's just had the Guzma. He has had the Rare Candy Vikavolt. So this does mean we are in a lot of trouble. So I will be able to get a KO on the Shaman, which is nice, I guess. The Rayquaza is also pretty useful. And I definitely need to Professor Elms here for this Charmander. My opponent also had the Shaman. It's like everything that can go wrong has been going wrong, which is definitely scary here. And my opponent has had back-to-back KOs. Definitely feel like I should attach to the Charmander. But, I mean, I'm gonna get knockout, and then he's probably just gonna knock me out with Ray. So as long as I can set up another Charizard, I'll be down to 1 prize. But how do I take my last prize? That's the difficult part. So perhaps attaching to the Lele is better. Yeah, no, I'll attach to a Charmander. I'll leave the energy on the Charmander. If I need to, I'll attach to Lele next turn. So I get a prize, which is a Lele, which is not very useful since I don't have the Bills and the Erika's Hospitality. It could be useful if off of the Bills I get a Pokemon Communication, because that might be that might be what I end up needing. And okay, so energies actually are put on Zeraora and also on the Ray. We're gonna see a Cynthia. My opponent limiting his bench, not sure if on purpose or not. But then he just has to raw Cynthia. So my opponent has not been dead drawing. He had the Guzma for the right time. He's just had everything. He's just had everything. Now he's filling up his bench finally. I don't mind the Marshadow. Honestly, I don't. I really hope he plays it. But he's not. He's actually not going to play it. So he'll probably end up saving it for next turn. So I need a really big turn here. A really big turn. Erika's Hospitality off of 4 seems like the right call here. And I do get a Rescue Stretcher. I also get a Ninetales, so I do have Rare Candy Charizard. I do have access to Rare Candy Charizard, and I can fit another Charmander on the bench. The question is, will I be able to set up a 4th Charizard? The answer is probably going to be no, and we're going to be very, very close to winning this game, but just not quite there. So I definitely think Communication and Rare Candy is the right call here. Actually no, it's probably the Ultra Ball. Yeah, it's probably the Ultra Ball. And then off of the Ultra Ball, I'm gonna discard the Bills and the Elm. I will grab the Charizard. And then I will go ahead and Rare Candy. I will evolve. I will attach. And then I will use Roaring Resolve. Therefore, I do have enough energy to KO the Zeraora. Then I will set up a last Charmander. Right? A last Charmander. I will also put back 5 energy into the deck because I do need 1 from hand and then the ability. And I will go ahead and use Continuous Blaze Ball. Now, if my opponent uses Marshadow, that's completely fine. Our 2 prizes are an Ultra Ball and a Vulpix. The Vulpix not very useful, the Ultra Ball potentially useful in case we need to search for that Charizard. But yeah, to say we are in trouble would be an understatement. There's no way my opponent's gonna Guzma. He knows Charizard is the actual threat. Attaches to the Vikavolt. Using Vikavolt or using Ray, it doesn't matter at this point because I'm down to 1 prize card. Using Ray forces me to play a 7 prize card game, so we'll see. We shall see. Okay, so let's see if our good buddy Charizard over here can get us the win here. My opponent is deck thinning as well. Doesn't decide to use the thing. Okay. So, Eric has not great. Maybe Bills would have been the good card to have here, actually. Because Bills is a card that digs deeper for us. So, I mean, I still have to go for it, right? I need my rare candy. I need my last rare candy. I don't mind Ultra Balling these two cards away because they're not very useful. I don't like the fact that I now have one less card. Oh no, wait, I can Lily, never mind. So I already have the Charizard, which is honestly the easiest card to get. The more difficult one is the rare candy. So I'll go ahead and play down the Lily. I will go ahead and use Lily, so I don't have great odds at finding the rare candy. I could find the stadium and a fire energy, but I do. What? That is honestly super lucky. That is honestly super lucky. I will be able to use Roaring Resolve. I will attach 2 fire energy to my Charizard. I will use the last one, and I will continuous Blaze Ball for the KO. I cannot believe this. That was incredibly lucky on my part. I will not lie. It feels good to use Charizard to take something down. I'm not gonna lie, that was actually pretty cool. And just seeing the deck in action makes me think that perhaps there is some merit to Blacephalon with Charizard. Maybe there is some merit to Blacephalon Charizard. So we win the coin flip. We're actually going first. We might be up against another Rayquaza deck. Getting a Lele start, not the best for sure. Not the best at all. At least we have the Lily to go off of. And oof. We are up against what's probably going to be a really difficult matchup. Really difficult matchup. Okay, so I definitely want to set up a Charmander here, right? And then I am going to need, I mean, this is a non-GX battle, so I'm going to definitely need as many energy as possible, but I'm gonna need every Charizard or Charmander to I'm gonna need 2 Charizards to take 2 prizes at least. Now this is a horrible hand to get, because I won't be able to get a turn 2 KO unless I magically top deck a rare candy. I was hoping for a Vulpix, that would have been the dream. Now I have double Elms to thin the deck, but we'll see. We shall see. We see an Ultra Ball. Discarding a Water and a Kukui. So we are at a big disadvantage. Charizard seems like a good call if you know you're gonna go up against a lot of GX decks. Definitely not the best call if you're going to go up against non-GX decks and especially water type decks. Now, my opponent going for a Lapras is actually not terrible. That makes our trades a lot better potentially, which is good. We would like to stop that Lele from KOing. I mean, that Lapras from KOing our Lele, right? That would be the dream. We're gonna see a Choice Band, so our Lele is already very threatened, and we see the immediate Cynthia. So I'm definitely gonna retreat into a Beacon Vulpix here, for sure, right? Definitely gonna choose to do that. We see a second Lapras, right? We see a second Lapras, which is a bit scary, although not that much. And we'll see how this goes. We see a switch, so gets to even conserve the water energy. Now our Lele is definitely threatened in a really awful way. We won't get a turn 2 knockout on the Lapras, but we can get a turn 3 knockout, so that's not terrible for sure. It's not terrible at all. So we see the collect. We are going to top deck. What? What? Okay, that was a very unexpected but very welcome top deck. Now, should I go for double Vulpix? No, I don't think I should. I think I should do this. That was an insane top deck, honestly. I mean, I was hoping to just find a Vulpix so I could rare candy and find, like, actually just find the rare candy. That would have been the dream. But in fact, it's just gonna work out very, very nicely here. And then I definitely need to Roaring Resolve, attach the 2 fires onto the Charizard. I will go ahead and attach another fire, and then I will Continuous Blaze Ball for 210 damage, getting me 2 prizes on turn 2 with my turn 2 Charizard. This is finally the Pokemon trainer's dream of Charizard being good. I mean, it's certainly surpassing my expectations. Yeah, in terms of setting up, in terms of potential, it's definitely surpassing my own expectations. We see the Quagsire. We see an Energy. Ivan now needs a Water Pokemon and an Aqua Patch to get a return KO on my Charizard, but then we can, thanks to the Ninetales, we can get Rare Candy Charizard, especially thanks to Rescue Stretcher, and there's even the potential to where I can KO the Lele here. I can actually just outright KO the Tapu Lele next turn if it comes to that, making my Charizards incredibly cost effective. Although if this is how my opponent's field looks like the next turn, definitely KOing the Quagsire would be the right call. Definitely KOing the Quagsire would be the right call. We see a Stretcher by my opponent onto a Lapras. We might just see a switch. Right, we might just see a switch, transfer the energy, and KO the Charizard, but that's okay because we actually have the perfect amount of resources in our hand to get a return KO onto the Lapras once again. So, not gonna lie, this is looking very good and very powerful. It seems like by attaching that experience, sure, my opponent recognizes that the Quagsire will go down, my opponent will be able to recover the water energies, but decides instead to concede. Charizard just ends up being way too powerful for the pure water Lapras Quagsire deck. Okay, so can Charizard go 3-4-3 in today's video? Let's try for one more battle. I was only planning on doing these 2 battles, but that one was a very short one. So let's see if Charizard can actually go 3-4-3 here. 3-4-3. Okay, we're waiting for our opponent to load the game. Hopefully that's not the game crashing bug that it used to be. Oh, it might be. Really, PTCGO, when we are on a streak, you decide to do this? No! Come on, Charizard was flowing so well. Okay, so I will be right back, guys. I will be back with another game in just a second. Okay, we are back, and ridiculously enough, PTCGO actually decided that our win streak was over because we considered the previous game. That's okay though, because we know in our hearts that Charizard is actually still undefeated for us. I saw Fire, Lightning, Psychic, and Colorless, so this must be some sort of Zapdos, Magcargo, Garbodor deck perhaps. We do get to go first, which is great. We can, in fact, get a really good turn 1 here. We can in fact get a really good turn 1, and we're even gonna get we see the 2 Psychics with the Apricorn Maker. So now I don't know what deck this is. And there's a Victini. Okay. I assume we're up against a non-GX deck, so I'm just gonna go ahead and Elms here. There's no reason not to. Fill up my bench with 2 more Charmanders and another Vulpix so that we have extra help in order to set up. Seems like a good call. 1 Alola Ninetales is priced. So as we move forward in the game, we might get access to that resource, which is really, really cool. And then we shall pass. We don't know what we're up against, so I'm not hesitant. I mean, I'm not in any hurry to play the Ultra Ball to thin. The Choice Band, I don't know if it's going to be useful. We see a Nest Ball here. But I wonder what the Victini is doing here. Okay, so this is some sort of Malamar deck. Is this Chansey? Is this actually going to be Chansey Malamar, and that's the reason for Victini? Perhaps. Double Victini. Interesting. And I guess my opponent already knows or assumes that Victini is gonna go down, and there's the Chansey. Okay, so this honestly could qualify for a Pokédex, TCG Pokédex series game. Wow, what a start for my opponent. Just immediately the DC on the Chansey. Definitely happy that we got the start we got, because we are going to probably gonna be able to Ericast for a lot. Here for a lot of Pokemon, or we're gonna Lily, and then next turn we will have the Ericast to continue setting up. And basically this is gonna be a battle of non-GXs where it might even be easier for me to stream. It might actually be easier for me to stream Charizards and for my opponent to stream Blissey's, as crazy as that sounds. So I'll definitely go grab the Charizard, right? Yeah, I'll definitely go grab the Charizard. And then I think I'm just gonna grab double Rare Candy here, right? Just to already have it in hand, because this turn I'm gonna Lily, next turn I'm going to Ericast. So having the Rare Candy already in hand is gonna be pretty useful. I have guaranteed KO on this Victini, which is awesome, right? And I will definitely use Roaring Resolve first, therefore I thin the deck even further, and I have higher chances of finding that Charizard off of this Lily, and or afterwards with the Ericast. I do find an Ultra Ball. So I could go ahead and set up another Charizard, which doesn't seem like a terrible idea, but I don't know if I'm gonna need either of these resources, which would be the discarded ones, the Guzma or the Energy Recycler, so I'm gonna be a little bit more patient. And we shall see what happens. Especially the Energy Recycler, because Blissey probably has 160 HP, so I'm gonna need an energy attachment every other turn or every turn in order to knock out Blissey's continuously. Now we see another DC, Powerful Slap. You flip a coin for each energy attached to this Pokemon, and this attack does 80 damage for each heads. So with only 2 heads flips, that is enough for Blissey to knock out my Charizard, which is not a big deal. I mean, on average, that's what's going to happen. There's the average, that's what my opponent needs. Hopefully it comes down to the point where my opponent doesn't even have Psychic. So like I said, it's probably and or like it's very likely that I will be able to stream Charizards much easier than my opponent will be able to stream bless you, then my opponent will be able to stream Blissey's here. So I'm gonna get rid of the Guzma. Not that big a fan of doing that, but definitely the discardable resource here. I will go ahead and Rare Candy the active, of course. I will also go ahead and Roaring Resolve. And then, now that I've thinned the deck very nicely, I will go ahead and Ericast for 6 more cards very nicely. Not the best cards, definitely, to get, because they're not very useful at all. The best card that I could get here would be the other Alola Ninetales from the prizes, because then, and there it is, now I have guaranteed Rare Candies. Now my double rescue stretchers are actually looking very, very nice. They are indeed looking very nice. And now for my opponent to have return KO, he's going to need another Malamar, 2 Psychics in the discard pile, a Blissey, and a DCE. That's 5 very specific cards. And there's 0 Psychic in the discard pile. That's going to be the hardest part. Of course, the DCE, it's like, in terms of difficulty, the 2 Psychics is the most difficult. The single DC is a medium difficulty, and then the Malamar and the Blissey are the easiest parts. Already we see the Blissey. We are going to see a Rescue Stretcher, putting back 3, I would assume, to put back the Chansey, the Blissey, and the Victini into the deck. No, actually just choosing the Oranguru. That has been benched, therefore we don't fear the Marshadow. There is a DCE on the Blissey, so now my opponent is missing the 2 Psychics and the Malamar. The Ultra Ball does indicate Malamar, but there's still no Psychics in the discard pile, which is great. There's the Malamar. My opponent had to discard Coco and Apricot Maker, not the biggest of deals for sure. And that last card probably is a Cynthia or a Lily. Or not, perhaps. My opponent actually has to instruct for 2, and we might just see a pass here. Maybe debating on which Pokemon he wants to go down. Does use Guzma, which is, oof, that is very annoying. That is actually incredibly annoying, because we cannot switch out this turn. That Guzma that we lost earlier. Oh my gosh. Okay, now that is a big deal. That is a very, very big deal. That is a very big deal. I'm gonna go ahead and Roaring Resolve with this guy. And yep, we only have 1 Guzma. No switching cards. So very smart move by my opponent. I will go ahead and Roaring Resolve. I don't really mind the damage dealt to my own Charizards. I will go ahead and attach to a Ninetales. I will go ahead and play this to put back 5 Fire Energy. That Rare Candy top deck was actually pretty insane. And I'm going to go ahead and Cynthia. In case I find a Guzma for next turn, I was definitely always going to find a Fire Energy, so we'll just have to pass here. With not a great hand, does delay me a turn, but we are still ahead in the price trade-off. Unless my opponent knocks out the Ninetales, then we will be behind. So there's a Psychic attached immediately, there's a Choice Band. So now my opponent still needs triple hands to get a knockout on this Ninetales if he does attack it. And he needs a way to get a Psychic in the discard pile, which this Acrobike might very well do it for him. It doesn't. It actually does not do it for him. Are we gonna see another Guzma? Oh no, Powerful Slap costs 3 energy. Okay, so Triple Tails, definitely gonna want to reflip that. And Double Heads means Ninetales survives with 10 HP remaining, which is unfortunate because Tapu Koko can now just finish off. Tapu Koko can now easily finish off the Ninetales. So we are still going to be a little bit behind. I do not want to like over extend my energy. I'm just gonna go ahead and Cynthia here. And I do find a Lele, I do find the Ninetales, so I could set up my final Charizard, which seems like a good idea. Just keep getting resources. I have my other energy recycler, which is also very useful. Very, very, very useful. Grabbing the Pokemon Communication here seems good. The big downfall of this deck is the fact that you only have 4 Rare Candies. If you had more than 4 Rare Candies, this might actually be a much better deck. And then I will go ahead and use Continuous Blaze Ball. I don't want to use all my abilities because I do need energy in the deck, because I fully expect this Charizard to survive, right? And even if Tapu Koko attacks here, we are still in the lead, right? We have 3 Charizards left. Presumably each Charizard will be able to take 1 prize each. So even if my opponent spreads here, and gets a knockout on the Ninetales, he goes down to 3. Then we go down to 2, then they go down to 2, then we go down to 1, they go down to 1, and we go down to 0, and we do in fact win. And this all depends on my opponent getting a DCE off of the 1 card Instruct, and it's also the last DCE, so odds are our Ninetales survives this turn and we stay ahead. My opponent could also be playing Shrine of Punishment, which means we could have been in trouble, but Charizard in fact is able to go undefeated in the video. That is crazy, honestly. I did not expect that from Charizard. The deck worked out much nicer and much smoother than I anticipated it to do, and I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with the performance. Perhaps I'll keep exploring Charizard in a different video and in my own time. But anyways, guys, that will be all from me. Don't forget to leave a like on the video. It really helps out the channel. Really appreciate your support, and I hope you guys enjoyed this Charizard video. Thank you so much, and until next time. Bye-bye.